Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Nvidia. It is time for another update, and we actually had quite some downside in the last few days, actually the entire week, but it is not fully unexpected. We had a critical support zone in this area, and I mentioned clearly in the last video that if we fail to push directly higher, we are likely going into the larger area of support, which now is the case. Now, before we get there, we will discuss that in a moment, but I want to go quickly through the larger time frame for any of you who might be new. And here we are tracking this series of 1-2 setups that have occurred over quite a significant amount of time. Then we have here an internal wave 3, a fourth and a fifth that is still likely unfolding. Now, within this structure, we expect to build the larger third wave to the upside, and other interpretations are possible. I mentioned this in the previous videos, but at the moment this is my preferred structure that I am tracking, and I am even attempting to develop or to track a development of an impulse within this fifth wave to the upside. Now, this is no guarantee. It could end up being a larger diagonal pattern where this could be something like a 1, 2, 3, 4th and a 5th, and within this wave 5 we could be towards the end of an A wave, in which case we could expect quite a deep retracement, but at the moment we are still holding all relevant supports that would allow us to still track the development of even a possible impulse within this movement to the upside. And in that case we have a couple of possibilities. So yeah, it is the idea of an impulse. In the blue scenario we have a series of 1-2 setups formed in this area, a third wave up. We are now looking for the fourth wave correction, and then still a few more 4-5 patterns before we actually complete the larger structure. Then we have the green interpretation, within which we have a more simpler wave 1 up, wave 2 down, third wave up, fourth wave down, and then we expect only a singular fifth wave to the upside to still form in an ABC structure, and we do have this larger area of support that would allow such a development between the $175.5 all the way down to the $129, the 61.8% retracement. Now, if we really are to form this development in the blue interpretation where we have a third and a fourth, we do need to hold above the 50% retracement in blue, the $168 level. And we will have still a couple more chances to do that. So the 38.2% retracement is coming up, and we do also have some structural support in that area. So I find that a likely area to create at least a small relief rally. No guarantee, but yeah, it is rather likely to be the case. And here in the shorter time frame, in the previous video, we actually had the correct count, it appears, where we were looking here at a third wave top, a fourth wave bottom here, and then a fifth wave still to follow. We were exploring possible extensions where this could have been the actual wave 3 top, especially since this seems to be even stronger than what we had previously built, but apparently it's not the case. We do likely have a top within this interpretation, so we can consider this the full count within the orange scenario, where this was either a third wave in blue or a wave C in a green interpretation, part of the ABC structure in the wave 3 in green. Now, regardless of which it is, doesn't really matter at this point. It is done. We are looking for a wave 4 correction, whether that is in blue or in green. And in this correction we expect to form a 3-wave structure, most likely. Yeah, could be a 5-wave move in a triangle, but at this point this seems likely to develop as an ABC pattern to the downside. And within this wave C, I could argue that we are here in a 1, 2, 3, 4th and the 5th, and this fifth wave does seem to still have a chance to push lower. Now, if it gets to the 38.2% retracement, especially based on the structure that has developed in this area, I find it likely that we should again turn back up, at least in a relief rally, and other possibilities are still available. So I could argue that this is turning into a larger 5-wave move to the downside, in which case I could consider this a 1, 2, 3 complete, and we could get then a larger 4th and the 5th. But in either case, at the moment it is still preferred that we get another low even after bottoming in this internal structure. And in that case we can track here a possible 1, 2, 3, 4th and the 5th, I probably prefer at this point the idea of a diagonal pattern unfolding in this area. And within this wave tree, we can look for a larger area of resistance, but as I just mentioned, I'm not sure it is done. But a general area of resistance that I would be looking out for in this correction in a wave 4 would be between the $186 level all the way up to the $198.3 level at the 61.8% retracement. Now, if we manage to break above the 61.8% retracement, I wouldn't necessarily be convinced that we bottomed, but it is extremely likely that this larger structure to the downside is done, and then it could itself be some sort of a part of a larger correction, maybe a wave W, then we get a wave X, and then a wave Y to the downside, could be even an ABC. Yeah, many ways it could unfold, but generally I would be looking at that $198 level to have somewhat of a signal that this movement to the downside is done. Now, we don't necessarily need to expect to reach this area of resistance for further continuation to the downside. As I was mentioning, it is also possible for this to be a wave C developing, in which case this would be something like a 1, 2, a third wave down, and this is the third wave that I'm saying it's not clear it's done yet. And in that case, we could get a smaller fourth here, not even get to the area of resistance and still push lower in a fifth. But the main reasoning here, the main point is that we are still looking for additional lows on this chart ideally. And if nothing else, at least another one that I would likely expect to get to this area between the 38.2% retracement in blue and down to the 23.6% retracement in green, so between the $177.6 all the way down to the $175.5. We do have some structural support in this area, and it is likely to find a relief from these levels. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.